All right. That ought to do it. That ought to do it. Let me just check the...
Oh my God, we're live. Oh my God.
There we are. We live.
There he is.
There he is. There's the boy.
That's not the...
I know.
That's...
I'm doing a mashup.
No.
Get with
two
me.
pairs of audio going at the same time. My God.
All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
On this episode of the Culturesmash cast,
Duffer Brothers, you need to cut it out.
We got Madness for 2.
And Warner Brothers cuts Batgirl loose.
it's the Culturesmash cast, episode 603 for August the 3rd, 2022. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of Culturesmash.tv. Nico.
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to Culturesmash.tv.
Tina.
Tina Qualls, contributor to Culturesmash.tv.
And Zach.
Oh, that's me, right?
Yeah, that's you.
Sorry,
That's
I've just
you.
been known as the dumbass, so I guess I'm a dumbass.
Well, I mean, you get that name to yourself.
Yeah,
You get that name to yourself.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we would all agree it's pretty accurate.
We would agree. Yeah, it's true. So what did you guys get into this weekend before we get started on the show?
Our air conditioning went out.
Yeah,
Oh, crap.
Yeah. it
it's
didn't,
back.
it
We've
didn't
got
get
it fixed
fixed until Tuesday.
Yeah.
What happened? What do you do in those
Oh,
situations?
my God.
So luckily we
You
were
go
in-
out and buy box fans.
yeah, we
apparently.
went out and bought box fans. I'm going to return those this weekend. But
And you have your pregnant wife sleep with a blanket over her tummy to keep her, or wet towel over her tummy to keep her cold.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. That's awful. Oh, well, I had something similar happen. So what happens when you have your electric bill set up on auto pay and the credit card or debit card it's tied to expires and you get a new card and you forget to update said card? What do you think happens?
Your lights go out, motherfucker.
Yeah, the power
Yeah.
went the fuck out the other day in this house and it got...
I know your electric company, National Electric Service, is terrible about notifying you about payment issues like that. 'Cause I have
They really are.
They don't
are.
go, hey, by the way, your card declined. It's probably out of date. Can you update us? Like, no, they'll just not talk to you until they shut down your power.
Exactly. And that's what happened is we made, the last payment went through. 30 days later, just assume the other payment went through. Didn't. Boom. Power went off the other day.
Does that affect your credit?
Nah,
Okay.
not really. And it just took a phone call to put the new card in. And fortunately,
now, if it happens multiple times of mispayments, then yes, that starts to affect your credit. But
yeah, and
Well,
that's when I think the utilities will let you know. They'll be like, we're sending you to collections or some
yeah.
shit like that. Then it would affect your credit rating. Yeah.
Yo, something smells good.
Somebody's cooking up in this house. So I had that going on. So we have that in common. Boy, what about you? What have you been doing?
Oh, well. You see, there was a thing happening this entire weekend,
Yeah.
like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our local art house was showing a movie.
A set of movies.
A trilogy.
A trilogy, if you will. A
Was it
trilogy, if you will.
Twilight? Oh wait, no, that's 14.
Yeah, that's not a
No.
trilogy. They showed the original Star Wars trilogy.
And we
Yeah,
went
I
every
saw
day.
it. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We saw all three of them. Sadly, of course, it was those
Disney Plus
versions with the
Oh.
added CG and all that stuff. Still great movies, but when you see 20-year-old CGI on the big screen, it doesn't hold up.
Well, in addition, it's whenever that CG would show up, the overall quality in the image would dip.
Just drop.
Like it would be, I would say, roughly a 2K resolution. Definitely wasn't 4K.
Yeah.
It was at 2K, and then a little CGI robot would appear in the background, and all of a sudden we're at like 720p.
Yeah, you
it
could
felt
see
like.
it just went bleh.
Whoop,
It just
and
shit
then
the
it
bed.
would go right back up.
And it'll come back up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting from a quality standpoint.
Mhm. I think you probably notice it less, watching on a smaller TV or whatever. But in the theater, boy, you could tell stuff started looking like cartoon time. Still good movies though. It was still a good time. Empire Strikes Back is still
Dude, Empire on the
The
big
shit.
screen was.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was great.
That's one of my. I remember like in the '90s when they did the original special edition re-releases.
Mhm.
Like that was the first time I saw the originals in theaters, and that was a moment. Like I very well remember seeing those in theaters.
Yep, it was the same for me. I was happy at least at that we got to see those versions in the theater back then.
I was about to say I've never seen Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi on the big screen. So
Well, now you have.
I could just scratch that shit off.
And the theaters were pretty packed all 3 days.
Unfortunately, though,
Yeah.
we had to wait till the third day to get the good audio.
Yeah, the mixes were bad on the first 2 movies, but that third one, when the Star Wars logo comes up, it just
We both
boom.
looked at each other and
We're
were like, "There it is."
There it is. That's what we wanted. That was it. Is that all you got going on?
That's all I got going on
That's
right
it?
now.
Okay. Well, let's jump into
On podcast, that's all I got going
this
on
shit.
right now.
Got you. All right. So join us every Wednesday night if you're new here, live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I put starting around 7 p.m. CST because
God knows.
we're close. We get there. We get there within 15 minutes or so
Yeah.
usually, right?
7 p.m. CST ISH.
Exactly. Ish. So you can follow us on all these platforms or your platform of choice and get notified when we go live. Yeah, we're doing our first simulcast on Twitch tonight. So that's cool.
No.
Special thanks to Skinny Mixes for supporting the Culture Smash cast. Skinny Mixes are coffee and dessert syrups that are 0 sugar, 0 calories, and 0 to 2 carbs. Head on over to skinnymixes.com and try some of their syrups, such as the white chocolate, salted dark chocolate, and salted caramel, and the variety of cocktail mixes they offer, including margarita, which is my favorite, and the variety of other fruit flavors. Use promo code Culturesmash for 15% discount on the order. So we got some big stuff to talk about, so let's just jump right into the box office. Number 10 was Vengeance. It made $1.7 million. It's an opening weekend. The only thing I know about it is it's kind of a revenge comedy, and it was written by and stars one of those guys from The Office. That's all I know. I heard it's good. Number 9 is Jurassic World Dominion. It made another $2 million. It's made $369.
Stop seeing this movie.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's bad. You haven't even seen it.
Yeah, because I'm smart enough to
I
know
saw
it's
it.
bad.
I can say it's bad because I saw it. I know.
I knew it was going to be bad because it's the same guy that wrote the other 2, which were bad.
It's true. Number 8 is The Black Phone. It's fine. It's a good movie. $2.4 million. It's made $83 million so far. It's pretty good money for a horror movie. Number 7 is Elvis. It made $5.7 million. It's made $128.9 so far, almost $130. Where the Crawdads Sing. This is a movie.
Steven's favorite.
It's a movie you shouldn't see. Don't see this movie. It's awful. It made $7.5 million. That many people went and saw it this weekend. It's made $53.5 so far. It's a terrible ass movie. Number 5 is Top Gun Maverick. Go see that one before it leaves the theater. It made $8.4 million. It's made $650 million so far.
That is a damn fine chunk of change.
It is a damn fine chunk of change. You had a 60-year-old action star coming back and saying, hey boys, this is how you do it.
Let me show you how it's done.
This is how you do it.
I mean, we had the same thing with Mad Max Fury Road.
We did.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Minions: A Rise of Gru. That one made another almost 11 million. It's made 320 so far. Number 3 is Thor: Love and Thunder. It made 13 million. It's made 301 so far.
Steven's favorite movie.
Yeah, it's pretty bad too. Number 2 is Nope. That one made 18.5 million. It made 80 million so far. That's pretty solid money for an R-rated
original
horror movie, I guess. Number 1, DC League of Super Pets made $23 million opening weekend. I guess that's okay. I guess it's all right money.
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I kind of expected that to do a little bit better.
I don't know. I feel like the marketing has been off.
I didn't see any.
I was going to say I haven't seen nearly what I thought I would see.
Yeah.
Opening this weekend is Bullet Train, finally. Like, I'm excited for this movie to be open so I can stop seeing the trailer in front of things. And this score, this 68% critical rating.
No.
Huh? 50, is it
58?
58?
Yeah.
Okay. That kind of makes sense, and it just further cements my belief that a lot of like TikTok critics are either just on the shill or bad, because people are raving on TikTok about this movie, and I just don't see how it can be that good. It looks like a mess. Because I think this is based on a book that wasn't comedic, if I ever remember correctly. The original script on this was not a comedy. They just added that stuff in, and that's usually a bad sign. Easter Sunday is opening, and it has no ratings as of the creation of the script.
They're waiting for
Bodies coming out.
Bodies was listed on Box Office Mojo, but I checked the theaters and didn't see it.
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah, I think it's been
Why
pushed.
is there nobody?
I think it's been pushed.
Because it's at 90%.
Yeah, because people have seen it. Advanced screenings have happened, but I think it's been pushed.
Well, it might be a limited release. It might be opening in like New York and LA, but not. Like,
Well, Box Office Mojo says wide, but
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
yeah, it's gone. I even checked like a variety of Regal theaters to see, because I'm like, if that's coming out, I gotta go.
August 5th.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's not there though.
No, I'm mad. Wait, hold on.
Boy, we don't have time for you to surf Google.
So apparently it's getting a limited release this week and then wide next week.
Okay, that's fine.
So next Wednesday.
Why
it's
you
showing-
crying?
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's a whodunit. So spoilers.
Oh, well then don't read anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't anyway. Yeah. All right, do we have a film ball update?
We do. All right. So in fifth place, surprise, surprise, is Steven with $103 million.
Don't hate.
In fourth place is Nathan with $379 million. Moving up to third place is Nico with $466 million. Then in second place, it is me.
Look at you.
It's not gonna be for long, because Nico's literally $33 million behind me. I have $499.9 million. And then in first place is Zach with 842.
Hey.
Yeah, whatever. All right. So if you're new to the show, Film Ball is our game where we take 4 months of box office numbers and we bid on the movies we think are going to make the most money in the first 4 weeks of that block of time. And then we just talk trash to each other for that 4 months and wait to see how it goes.
Well, we
It's
talk
100
trash to each other.
Oh yeah. Like
It's true.
Yeah, there's no stopping of the trash talk.
It's a pretty fun thing to do, and you know, if you're a listener to the show or a viewer, you can hit me up at the email cinegeek@gmail.com if you want to play. We're maybe going to add a game, and I'll give away some digital movie codes or something to those players if they want to.
Yo,
join
something
us.
smells so good.
Yes, there's food being cooked in my
I know,
house.
but like, it really smells good, man.
It's plantains. That's what it is.
Oh,
It's fried
fuck
plantains.
you.
It
Are you
is
just
fried.
your plantains?
No, Ada is actually out of town. It is not. It is a good friend we have here helping take care of Ada's mom,
It
who
smells so
also knows
good.
how to cook plantains. Yes. So I'll be partaking in those later. I'll tell you how they were.
My fuck you still stands.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, so if you want to join us, hit me an email. So we have a pretty big story. Some of this was breaking today. So Nico, I know you're going to have to kind of play with this on the fly, so we'll roll with the punches here.
Yeah, so I'm going off the Variety story that broke out. I think this particular one came out yesterday, but it's been the big entertainment news for the last couple of days. Variety reports, as well as Hollywood Reporter, The Wrap, a lot of other sources, that Warner Brothers has shelved the upcoming Batgirl film, a DC superhero film originally intended for HBO Max release only, but later was scheduled to have some theatrical release, starring Leslie Grace, Brendan Fraser, J.K. Simmons reprising his role as Commissioner Gordon in the Snyderverse films, and also Michael Keaton also showing up as a new/old Batman that had reportedly already finished filming. It is now not going to drop anywhere, not HBO Max, not theaters, nowhere else. Also canceled Scoob, A Holiday Haunt, a sequel to the 2020 film Scoob, one of the first pandemic releases. That was set to premiere on HBO Max in 2022. It was already also in post-production and almost finished. Warner Brothers has reportedly spent $90 million on Batgirl and $40 million on the Scoob sequel. and they will reportedly try to claim both as tax write-offs as a way to recoup their investment. That means they cannot profit off of these films. They cannot sell them, release them, likely to be never seen legitimately by the public. This is in addition to other HBO Max originals being removed from HBO Max, and also in light of several HBO cancellations, particularly on the CW with a lot of their Arrowverse shows, and recently announced how they are closing out the Flash TV series next season, an abbreviated season 9. So I hope you weren't looking forward to the film like I kind of was.
Yeah, especially when Brendan Fraser was casted as Firefly.
Yeah.
Like,
the casting is actually pretty good. It's kind of shocking, honestly. That article that I sent you is really interesting. It's a shame we didn't have time to go through it more, because they talk about how this new head of the company that was brought in from, I guess, from Discovery, really
so
wanted to sort of go ahead.
Yeah, well, Warner Brothers and Discovery merged. The new company is Warner Brothers Discovery. David Zaslav, the new CEO of the overall company, comes from the Discovery side. To be the thought process is trying to kind of undo work under previous administrations, particularly with how when the pandemic started, Warner Brothers went all in on simul releasing on both their HBO Max and theaters, which, while made sense during early pandemic times, ruffled
quite a few
feathers with filmmakers,
including mine, big time.
Yeah, but including particularly notably Christopher Nolan, who then stopped doing movies with Warner Brothers. So that is a notable ramification. And it seems like part of this is a strategy to move away from releasing new, like, theatrical films on HBO Max, even though this film wasn't intended originally for theaters. But it's also a strategy to try to make its DC cinematic universe more blockbustery. I guess the vision is to not dilute it with lesser material, which could be argued. I think we argued a little bit that the MCU has kind of done that with their their TV shows on Disney Plus. I don't think this would have really done it unless it's not good. I did see some rumor mill that some of the advanced words wasn't great about the movie, but it's also still plenty in post-production. That's probably fine. It's just it was mostly wrapped in filming. And I don't know. I really want to see it. And I'm really bummed that they got this far in production. A lot of the press releases that came out from Warner Brothers says that this is nothing on the filmmakers or the actors. Leslie Grace playing Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. Nothing on their performance. This is a strictly business decision and not based on the quality of the film. I don't know how much I buy that. I don't know which one I would like better. I don't know if it's like, yeah, we don't like the movie, so we're not releasing it. I would rather than say that. But of course, that kind of screws their careers. So I don't know. It's a bummer. It is really a bummer because even if the film's not good, you have hundreds of people that worked so hard on this movie that are never gonna get it to see the light of day, as it seems.
Yeah, and you can argue that for the DC portion of Warner Brothers, but Scoob was almost through post-production, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't care about Scoob.
Fuck you, I do. It's like, and that has, like, there's no, I mean, I guess you could argue that there's a Scooby-Doo cinematic universe right now, but like...
Well, yeah, my thought on Scoob is...
Hey, guys, give me 2 seconds, because what are you doing?
I just picked up my phone and you looked at me.
Well,
like,
and then you pushed the mic. I'm like, what are you trying to say? Because I got a text. Okay, continue. I was like, what is happening?
Oh
I muted myself. I was like, I didn't do anything.
I'm sorry. Continue.
We are live, Zach.
Yeah, put your phone away, boy.
Sorry, I was in character and muted so nobody noticed. But hey, continue now.
But no, Scoob had a bad taste in the mouth because it recasted like almost all the principal traditional Scooby-Doo actors. But no, I really wanted to see this Batgirl. I liked a lot of the set work that we saw with it. I liked that Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I liked the behind the scenes images and short clips that I had seen with
Yeah.
again Brendan Fraser as Firefly.
I was really excited. I'm all for the like the Renaissance, like Brendan Fraser coming back, doing work. It's great. And honestly, of the upcoming DC movies, I would have totally canned The Flash before this one.
And I'm not convinced that that's not going to get canned. I still think it's coming. I think it's gonna.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be released. And I'm just like wondering, what does Ezra Miller have on somebody in terms of blackmail material to get his movie released?
Oh no, I think it still might get canned. I think it still might get pulled. I think they just haven't said it yet.
Some of it also, just to get into more like Reddit rumor mill conversations, is DC is wanting, and this is makes some sense with news that Ben Affleck is going to appear in the new Aquaman movie. His Batman character, his Bruce Wayne Batman, is that the new heads of Warner Brothers want to reintegrate the Ben Affleck Batman character as the central DC universe Batman outside of Pattinson being like the younger one.
It's over, Johnny.
Yeah,
it's over.
There seemed to have been some competing interests of, we want to bring back Michael Keaton as the elder statesman Batman. It's like, no, now we want Ben Affleck as the elder statesman Batman. And I'm like, you can have all of them. There's not any confusion. You don't have to do the massive everything is connected cinematic universe that Marvel does.
Well, but you know that they've had this sort of jealousy about that from the beginning, so they want that.
They should have set it up from the beginning.
Well, I think the other thing too is I think they don't. One of the reasons they want to do that is because that's a multiversal concept. We have different Batmans. We have a multiverse, and Marvel is going all in on multiverse, like branded as such. And now DC's, I think, wanted about face. Like, we can't go establish our own multiverse because Marvel just announced that their current slate of movies is the multiverse saga.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just, I'm bummed for the film, for the filmmakers, everyone involved. I wanted to see this movie. I'm concerned about what this says for Warner Brothers going forward.
Yeah.
That they're going to.
Okay, so there's a lot.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they have said, and whether we believe it or not, I think some of it is partially true, maybe, is that they honestly feel that they can make their money back in a tax write-off more than actually putting this movie out to streaming. And that says a lot about their confidence in the streaming service, which I think is a whole weird thing, because Zach and I had a friend today that's like, oh my God, they're thinking about getting rid of HBO Max. That's not happening. That's hyperbolic. No. But what did happen is this new guy who is coming to take over the head of the media side of this looked at the fact that when HBO Max simultaneously released movies on the streaming service and in theater, they didn't have a movie in the top 10 overall box office, whereas Paramount and Universal crushed it last year. You know, that's not what the media portrayed it as. The media was like, oh, look, they're barely making money compared to 2019. But looking back on actual dollars versus what they're making now, some of those movies did really well. So he is interested in refocusing on theatrical, which makes me real happy. And the other thing that I think HBO and Discovery is discovering too, which I think Netflix has also found out, is when you're trying to fill your streaming slate with original programming, it's as expensive as shit, and your return isn't as high. Netflix has done well for all these years because they had such a heavy catalog from all these different studios. Well, now all those studios are pulling their catalog back and putting out their own streaming services, and Netflix has got to do more original stuff. And I think they have suffered, and I also think HBO Max has suffered trying to keep up. And now we're in a situation where they've got to reverse course on some stuff and try and refocus. Now, the whole Disney thing, they also mentioned that they need their own Kevin Feige. This guy wants to find his own Kevin Feige to manage that. And, you know, Warner Brothers tried to pigeonhole Nolan into that. And Nolan is not a filmmaker you can pigeonhole, and he didn't want to do it. He just didn't want to do it.
They tried multiple people. They tried that. They tried with Snyder and Jeff Johns, and that fell apart.
It didn't work.
Snyder had to step away for very personal reasons, and Jeff Johns, from all of the Cyborg fallout, did not seem like the right person to manage this kind of.
Agree.
Not a people person manager. So I don't. It's a hard role. Kevin Feige is an incredibly capable individual and a very unique one in Hollywood right now. No matter what anyone may shared opinions on here about the quality of the MCU films currently, the accomplishments of not entirely one man, but definitely his focused vision in guiding the MCU is not something that has really been seen in Hollywood in some time. So I don't know how they're going to find somebody like that.
It's interesting. And I think there's more fallout yet to come with, they're saying that there's going to be layoffs. And I think that what they are going to do is try and just streamline HBO. HBO has tried to be everything to everyone. And, when you look at Universal and Sony, they may have come out of this the best because they've just been focused on making movies and putting them out. They haven't tried to dip their toe as much into all of this other stuff. Paramount is trying it, and I think they're suffering a little bit too. So if they can dial it back and up the quality, I'm fine with that. Less content, better quality is always good for me. And I almost feel like at this point they should just dump everything DC related except maybe Shazam and start over.
Yeah.
I mean, literally nothing. Aquaman was fine. It was fine.
I feel like the first Wonder Woman.
Yeah, the first Wonder Woman was good, but then the second one killed Goodwill.
Yeah.
It did. And also, I don't think Gal Gadot is going to stick around and just keep doing those movies.
If she stuck around.
Yeah. Well, she's already said if Patty Jenkins doesn't do it, she's not doing it. And Patty Jenkins is now doing a Star Wars movie.
Oh God!
Isn't it Rogue One or not Rogue One? Rogue Squadron or whatever she's doing. So, to me, it's so funny because I see so many people just losing their mind about this, and to me, I'm like, it seems kind of like good news to me in a weird way. That someone's coming in and saying this is a mess, and if some people have to take bullets for us to rework it and get it back where Warner Brothers used to be,
then
as far as a prestige brand, because Warner Brothers was always, especially HBO, was a prestige brand, and I feel like they've tried to do too much in the last 10 years or so.
I get some of that, but it's the fact that these particularly two projects we're talking about are essentially finished. Like Scoob is pretty done. It's also just a kids brand. You have a Cartoon Network block of programming on HBO Max. It's no problem to just dump it into that, or just dump it onto Cartoon Network. Batgirl, I could kind of see an argument depending on what level of post-production it's actually still at. It's a superhero movie. Yeah.
Apparently, that movie just wrapped filming, so I don't think they've done any post yet.
Yeah, so they have to do all the CGI work and everything, and that is going to be costly. And for the movie, it's going to be a lot of marketing. So as well, that's the one I'm more bummed about. I could understand it a little bit more, but Scoob in particular should have just been dropped as a kids movie on Cartoon Network.
Even if Scoob is bad, how much bad animation do they drop anyway? Just put it out there. It's kind of weird. It is weird.
It can't go lower than Marmaduke.
Yeah, and it's not going to damage a brand. It's not like the Scoob sequel. Scooby-Doo has been doing direct to home video releases for almost every year for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
It's not going to dilute the brand.
It's not like Scooby-Doo was ever known for amazing animation.
It's weird. And I feel like there's, maybe the tax write-off thing is a little bit true. The rebuilding of a vision, that's not enough for Scoob. For Batgirl, I guess I can see it. But maybe they're just bad. I think they just don't want to admit that the projects are bad.
Oh my God, these movies are awful. I don't want to.
If that's the case with Batgirl, that makes sense. But against Scoob, who's expecting that to be good? Like I said earlier, it's like, I don't care about Scoob. Just release it. You've got it made.
I just don't get it. It's weird. But I am mildly interested to see what's to come. Maybe they're going to actually bring it back, baby. Because HBO's product, the HBO channel their product has stayed pretty good.
But they've also like dropped HBO shows, like Raised by Wolves.
Which was pretty good.
Yeah.
Until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't. Yeah. Yeah. It did get kind of like not as good.
Suddenly, the influence of
Ridley Scott
with Damon Lindelof.
Damon Lindelof is really the one to blame.
Westworld is
scrambled that man's brain.
So...
Yeah, how is that a thing? How is Westworld still on?
Because I've heard season 4 is great, but
it doesn't matter.
Is garbage, and season 2 is hot garbage.
Yeah, after season 2, I'm like, nah, I'm good, thanks. I don't get that one. The decision making of what to drop and what not to drop is really bizarre.
In my book, it all ended when everybody was being killed.
The John Carpenter ending.
And who knows what this new horizon could be. Goodbye.
I don't know. But when I saw the cast for Batgirl, I'm kind of with you, Nico. I kind of wanted to see it. I just want to see Michael Keaton back to see what he'll do as old man Batman.
I mean,
yeah.
Even if we don't get it, you saw what it would be.
I did.
Yeah, you've seen Birdman.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Tina?
No, it's Zach's turn.
Oh, that's right. Zach's
turn. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You gave Zach the smallest story possible, and I'm like, good job, Steve. Exactly what to do there.
I thought so. I thought, yeah, I'm doing the right thing here.
All right. Well, in other news,
see, he's already blowing it.
We'll call it news.
Yeah.
Not even exciting news, just news.
Oh my god, get to the story.
Well, speaking of laughter, the Joker is set to return to your movie theaters on October 4th, 2024.
I hate you.
Oh, sorry. Y'all kept rushing me. You get that. Anyway, Joker 2, also known as Joker Folie à Deux. God damn it.
Yeah, we actually had to listen to Google.
Remember. Okay. Folie à Deux. Folie à Deux?
This is why you're reading it, not me.
Madness for Two.
Yeah.
Referencing a medical term for identical or similar mental condition that affects 2 or more individuals. Lady Gaga is apparently circling Joker 2, being Harley Quinn.
Oh, and I like Lady Gaga, but that's bad casting.
Yeah, so it's the same writer-director, Todd Phillips.
Is this one still really a musical? Is that or is that a joke?
I want to say that's a joke.
I hope it's a joke. But boy, wouldn't it make sense if Lady Gaga was in it? I just want to know what
you lost me at Joker 2.
Look,
exactly.
I am fine with a Joker 2.
Are you?
Actually, no, I'm not. Because I don't think we need it. Outside of your criticisms of the film, I think the story is just done.
Yeah, I thought it was done too.
The story wrapped up right where it needed to.
It said the end.
Yeah.
And also, what Scorsese films is he going to, plagiarize in this movie, this sequel?
Cape Fear.
Casino.
Well, you could do Casino.
I know.
You could do Casino. He's the head of Arkham Asylum.
It's going to be Shutter Island. Nico called it.
Yeah, Shutter Island. There we go.
That makes sense.
God.
Detective, but really,
that one is an insane asylum, so it makes perfect sense.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm still in I'm in the minority here of hating this movie.
No, not on this show.
Not on this show. You're not.
Zach's in the minority now,
as usual.
Now, when the rest of us leave the room, leave the safety of this window, this show, then we're in the minority.
Oh yeah,
people still love this movie. People love it.
Joker fan.
I was. There are definitely movies that I've gone to theaters, like especially general fandom movies, that I'll come out and it's like, yeah, you know what, I was kind of jazzed.
Uh-oh.
About that. And then over time,
we walked out of the theaters and we were like, well, that's about 2.5 hours we won't ever get back.
Yeah.
There was
Mhm.
nothing redeeming about it. I
No.
walked out of Nope not liking it, but
No.
I could take away aspects.
Okay,
I
so you
liked.
know what it is? Okay, so you're going to compare those two. What it is for me is when I
Um,
walked out
no,
of No. Oh, I think we've got a delay happening with them. Did we lose you guys?
yeah, it hiccup.
Huh? Oh,
I
wow.
heard a hiccup.
I heard hiccup. Yeah. Struggling.
Maybe I shouldn't get AT&T fiber.
Maybe you shouldn't. Wow. Did
Can
we
you hear us
really lose
now?
them then?
There they are.
Yep, there they are.
Okay. No, we were saying how the performances were good.
Cinematography, sound mix.
I got a hot mix
then
on-
it
got a hot
felt
take on that.
regurgitated from scenes I've seen in other movies. It's like,
Yes. She said it for me. I don't need to see this movie because it looks like every other Scorsese movie, like knocked off. That's
Yeah,
why
like-
I don't think it's good.
If we're talking about like technical aspects of the movie, yeah, it's fine. But I just don't care about the story of the movie because, like, one, as Steven said, we got Martin Scorsese already, have done these movies already, and
Yeah.
two, just like not an exploration of the Joker character that I care for,
yeah.
and I
Yeah.
definitely don't need more of this Joker character.
Yeah, the only positive takeaway I can come away from Joker with is within the parameters of expectation, what he was expected to do by his director, Joaquin Phoenix did a good performance. I don't
Yeah.
care about it, but he did a good job. He did a really good job. But that's it. That's all I got for that movie. I just got nothing.
I will say it's better than Jared Leto's fucking Joker.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
okay, it's not the worst
Forgot about
Joker in
that.
existence. I could say that.
Yep. Okay. Well, there's that. That's something, right? So I don't know. It's like my instinct is like, yeah, when the sequel comes out, I'm probably gonna see it. But how many times in the next few years can I get kicked in the balls? Because I already know I'm going to see the damn Halloween movie and it's going to be bad. I'm probably going to end up seeing some of these Marvel movies they announced and they're probably going to be bad. Like, am I just going to be numb by the time the Joker
Yeah.
sequel comes out?
Well,
And it's like, okay, let me get ready to sit down like the zombie for 2 hours and probably 3 hours and 15 minutes.
well, speaking of Halloween, Jared Leto, and getting kicked in the nuts,
Yeah.
I actually have another story that's not in our script I can say real fast.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I can help him with this one.
Some casting with the Haunted Mansion was
my God.
unveiled this week, with Jamie Lee Curtis being Madame Leota, which is famously the lady with her head in the crystal ball, as well as Jared Leto being the goddamn Hatbox Ghost.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Are you goddamn
Yeah.
serious?
My hype for this movie drastically plummeted.
Like,
Yeah.
fuck it at this point.
I like
Like,
Jamie
at
Lee
this point,
Curtis.
I'd rather just watch the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion movie.
Dude, that movie's fucking garbage, but it doesn't have Jared Leto in it.
Yeah, I'm so done
And it has a
with
decent
Jared
Madame
Leto.
Leota.
Yes.
So,
I-
not to knock on Jamie Curtis, but I know Jamie Curtis from so many things that I won't be able to separate that from Madame Leota.
yeah.
You say that, but in Everything Everywhere All at Once,
I was not able to separate her from.
I could. I wasn't thinking about
I
Jamie Lee
did,
Curtis
yeah.
for a minute. I was like,
I totally was able. It took me like halfway through the movie. It's like, oh yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
exactly. She disappeared into that role, so she's a good
Yeah,
actress. I
But
No,
are
she
you
was good,
seriously
but I knew it was
saying
Jamie Lee
that
Curtis.
that the Everything Everywhere All at Once director, like,
The Daniels.
yeah, will
Oh,
have
what if they were directing?
let me, how do I phrase this? That the Jamie Lee Curtis, who is directed by A24, Jamie Lee or
The Daniels.
Thank
There's
you.
two of them.
Brain, is going to be the same Jamie Lee Curtis for the Haunted Mansion.
All right, look. It's got to be better than the Eddie Murphy one. We got a bar, and I'm sure it's definitely going to hit over
It's a
that.
pretty
bar.
fucking low bar.
And I also
It's a-
think
It's a low bar, and I'm at this point, I'm 50-50 on whether it's going to hit it or not.
I've got no issues with Jamie Lee
The
Curtis.
fact that
Jared
they have
Leto.
the Hatbox Ghost, okay,
I don't
above
mind.
the bar. The fact that the Hatbox Ghost is Jared Leto, ooh, below the bar.
I don't mind that Jamie Lee Curtis is in this movie. I don't think she fits as Leota.
But I guess I'd probably. This is one of those situations where I'm in your chair because I've got no nostalgia for this.
Yeah,
I just don't care.
there were
I mean-
two huge like Haunted Mansion super fans on this show.
Yeah.
They were sitting next to each of them.
Exactly.
Uh,
So I'll leave it to you guys.
Look,
This is what happens when you leave it to Zach.
Zach is
Mr.
broken.
Bear. Yeah.
look, you got to understand. The Haunted Mansion is the best ride because not
Agreed.
necessarily that it's a ride, because it's a mood. It's getting in and
It's a
comfy.
lifestyle.
Yes. So when you say that Jared goddamn Leto is invading my lifestyle,
That's what you want.
Offense. We are seriously offended.
it's like your favorite. Okay, it's like AC/DC is now for tweeners at Hot Topic.
Oh, I've been through that. I've been through that.
Okay, well this time it has Jared Leto singing the AC/DC songs, and you're like,
I can't.
"Fuck this!"
Yeah, that's not happening. I disallow that to happen.
Well, Jared Leto is now in the.
I
singing
disallow
the
that.
AC/DC
Dressed as
songs.
Morbius,
It's Morbid time.
so I can fully get morbed. Yeah. Actually, this time you guys are getting morbed. Me and Nico are like, okay.
Yeah.
No,
Alright.
because he has to listen to me complain about it for the
Yeah,
next.
and you have to.
However-
Yeah, so you got indirectly morbed.
Yeah.
That's you got morbed. You got morbed adjacent.
Hey, at least I haven't actually seen Morbius yet, so I got that going for me.
At least,
I've seen it. Damn it.
at least one thing I can look forward to this Halloween season is Hocus Pocus 2.
So
This doesn't
Morbius is better than Where the Crawdads Sing. So I could say that.
I mean, everything I've heard about Morbius is it's just not a good movie. Where the Crawdads Sing from you is like
Fucking terrible.
it's like Dreamhouse level.
Oh, it's worse than Dreamhouse.
How is that?
It's worse than Dreamhouse.
I kind of want to see it.
It's worse. It is. It's
Shit.
worse.
I
It's
know
so
because I
bad.
read the book and I'm going to get angry.
I
Yeah.
want to see Tina watch it. That's what I want.
Can we drink? If we can drink, I'll do it. If we can drink, I'll do it.
Um,
All right. So you guys are unhappy about that. So do we want to talk about the Star Wars show next week when I put the story in the rundown, or do you want to just mention
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
real
we
quick
just wait
when we
till
go into
then.
TV? All right, I'll put it in the rundown next week because I'm actually hype about it. I just forgot to add it. Honestly, I just literally forgot to put it.
we got
So we'll
one.
talk about it next. It'll be timely also next week.
Yeah.
All right. So let me catch up on the script here.
Yeah, you should pull up your screen.
Yeah,
Alright.
I gotta scroll down because we're moving to TV now, baby.
Yep.
Now you got to scroll back up
Oh.
because you went past TV.
All right. So, an interview with Variety in early June confirmed the sibling directorial duo, the Duffer Brothers. Oh my God, say that 5 times fast. Plans
Right.
to George Lucas, i.e., retrospectively edit a moment in Stranger Things season 2, owing to a fan-identified plot hole. It's a simple mistake. The creative team said an episode of Stranger Things 4 on March 22nd, forgetting that it had been established as Will Byers, played by Noah Schnapp, birthday in the earlier seasons. The error is mostly asinine and certainly not something that needs to be fixed after the fact. But given the reason for the tweak, they didn't want fans to feel sad or to be mad at them for their negligence.
Fuck you.
Editing a
God.
continuity error after the fact would be fairly innocuous if not for the implied slippery slope. If the Duffer Brothers are doing it with a beloved franchise, who's to say that other creators won't? One day patches might become as commonplace in screen media as they are in video games, and that is a truly worrying precedent for consumers and the integrity of art alike.
They George Lucased it.
Well,
They Star Wars'd it.
The funny thing is they haven't yet, because I just got through watching season 2, and that scene is still in there.
they
Where
only
Joyce
adjusted.
looks at him and goes, "Your birthday is March 22nd." So
Wasn't the latest season they changed it? It was on the videotape.
I
I
thought
haven't
it's
gotten to the
season.
latest season to read.
It's
Oh,
season-
I thought it was the other way. Oh, that's actually smart that they changed it that way.
I didn't say not change it at all. I
Yeah.
thought that added depth to that scene.
Yeah, it made it more. It made it more understanding why Will was as moody and kind of depressed throughout that episode as he was, because nobody remembered his birthday. And
Yeah,
let's
it's
be
like
honest,
it's like fucking 16 candles.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
classic 80s.
They fucking
It
forgot my
is.
Classic
birthday.
80s.
It is. And my opinion on it is there's no win to it. Either it's unnecessary and it's one of those cool little goofs that you can enjoy years later, like fucking Luke Skywalker saying Carrie. Or you roll with it. Either way, you leave it alone. This is why I buy stuff. This is why I buy physical media, because fuck you.
Oh, can you buy season 3?
No, that's the problem. And I got mad about it, and I just went and sold season 1 and 2. I'm like, I'm not keeping them. If I can't complete it, I'm not keeping them. I'm getting it out of my collection.
Womp womp.
Wah. Yeah, this just annoys me.
Like
that's like how Zach is upset that he can't have the butthole edition of Cats.
Exactly.
It's a way of life,
It's a lifestyle. Buttholes and haunted mansions.
God.
That's your lifestyle.
That explains
We're
so
gonna
much
replace
about
all
Zach
the
and
ghosts
KJ's life.
in Haunted Mansion.
It really does.
It's the butthole cats. Yeah.
Look, I'll be real. Once was enough with that fucking movie.
No, boy, you gotta own it. You gotta own that. But yeah, the article is I'm fully on board with what the article is saying, that it's a slippery slope.
It really is.
We've exceeded this, though. I mean, jokes aside, George Lucas exceeded this years ago, going back and putting Anakin Skywalker in the end of Return of the Jedi.
Which if you're just watching the original trilogy on a blank slate, you're like, who the fuck is that
Who's
guy?
that dude? Because they don't even establish in the movie that this is going to be what he looks like. They're like, oh, who's this rando fucking guy?
What edition of the trilogy, the original trilogy, are we on now? Because we had
Disney
special
Plus.
edition in the 90s, and then
Yep.
we had the post prequel edition, which added
The CG. Yep.
and now there have been tweaks on the Disney Plus edition too. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Where they even re-edited the shot sequence of Han shot first.
They did it again. And
Yeah.
God.
This thing has been chopped up like a puzzle so much. So the Duffer Brothers could say, this is just us riffing on, just riffing on Star Wars by doing this, recutting it after.
I would buy that more if they put a very poorly CGI Jabba in season 1.
I hate this. And when Disney Plus first launched, there was a lot of fear about this. Disney Plus did it too, notably for me, with the movie Splash, where there's a sequence where they covered Daryl Hannah's ass, because her ass is out for not even a full second, but they covered it with digital hair, like made her hair longer. So this is not new. This is just getting a lot of play because it's Stranger Things. But it's happening with all kinds of stuff. Now that one is not, at least that one's not story specific. It's just trying to make something, cover the nudity. But this one has impacted the story, honestly.
Yeah. And honestly, when you can ask Nico, when we were first watching season 4, and we saw the date on the video camera of the skate rink, I'm like,
when you saw the date.
Yeah. I was like, that's why Will's so moody. And it's like, people automatically connected that. And honestly, it made more sense for all of that to be happening on his birthday. Because as a March 22nd baby myself, yes, my birthday has fallen on spring break. I can't tell you how many times. And it just makes it feel more sympathetic towards Will.
Yeah.
And they're
Agreed.
taking that away because they were like, whoopsie daisy.
It's it's just so annoying. It's just going to keep happening too. Like this is the thing. Everybody thinks, it's not a big deal. This is a moving picture. It's like, a living thing. And I'm like, okay, it's like Picasso, came out of the grave and fucking painted stickmen on one of his paintings. You'd lose your mind. This is the same
for a variety
thing.
of reasons why we would lose our mind.
Exactly. But
imagine somebody who's not dead doing that.
But it's also for people who are discussing the show, if I've seen one version and you've seen the other, and all of a sudden now we're arguing because we're both right. We just don't realize that we're both right.
Exactly.
Just what I talked about with Star Wars. It's like, what edition of the original trilogy are you on? Which edition? What order did Han shoot in the edition that you watched?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it was the McClunky.
The
McClunky
McClunky.
was the new addition on the Disney Plus one, which
Do what?
makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. All right. I mean, I don't know what else we can say. That we're all in agreement on this is stupid, but I feel like we have no power about this unless people really were to get on social media and lose their mind about it. But and I think it's happening a little bit, but not much. I don't know how much people care about it.
All right.
Moving
on to, I guess, CGI edits and television shows that aren't out yet. Marvel's She-Hulk Attorney at Law has had different weigh-ins on the CGI criticisms that have dropped since the initial trailer launched a few months ago. That initial trailer particularly had some very rough CGI of the She-Hulk character. It's gotten smoothed over in subsequent trailers, which is not unheard of. I remember the Universal.
Oh yeah, we've seen that before.
Yeah, the Edward Norton Hulk had this exact same situation.
Yeah.
So the series director, one of the directors, Kate Kuro, responded. I don't know. This one is basically just like thinks the CGI criticism is based on our culture's belief in ownership of women's bodies, which I don't buy that argument. But you also have other members, such as head writer Jessica Gao, saying that it pretty much sympathizing with a lot of the rushed feel that a lot of the CGI artists are feeling. Marvel Studios, in particular, has gotten flack as of late of the rushed nature of a lot of their CGI and basically overworking a lot of CGI artists. So you have people such as again head writer Jessica Gao and also star of the series, Tatiana Maslany, talking about sympathizing very much with the art team that is behind having to basically do a half CGI, half the time is a full CGI starring character. Yeah, CGI is rough, people. It's a lot of work.
Honestly, I think she looks fine, giving it's a TV series. It's really it's going to be impossible to make a muscular green woman look good no matter what.
Right. Here's
I disagree. 100% disagree.
I have a couple thoughts on that. I do kind of disagree. I kind of on Steven's point. I think it does look better now. I think like the shot that Steven just put up isn't great, but it has gotten better. Like the CGI work from trailer 1 to trailer 2 is a big improvement, and I think that's just the nature of post-production, the CGI being the last stuff you work on. So when you get a trailer out, when you still have half a year before the thing drops, of course it's not going to be its highest quality. We talked about this a little bit on the Comic-Con episode a week or two ago, where there was a Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer that premiered, that showed, but James Gunn did not have it released publicly. And he said as much. It's like the CGI is not ready. It's fine for a audience that is going to immediately see it now on a very big screen and not get to like rewatch it over and over and have time to dissect every little shot. It's not ready for that kind of experience yet. That said, the argument on it's a TV show, it's like, no, it is a Marvel Studios production. If Marvel wants to rest as much story weight on the Disney Plus shows as they are putting and tying in so much of the movies to be interconnected, they need to treat them as equal projects.
100%.
And they're not. They are not. It's the Disney Plus shows have a very obviously lower production quality than the movies. And I'm worried that it's going to go the other way around, that the movies, and some arguments could be made, are going to have less of a production quality because of that.
And I think they already have. I don't even think it's an argument. I think the quality has dropped.
Yeah, they use
in the movies
too.
too.
On Disney Plus.
Yeah. Now, there's some stuff that bothered me about this. These quotes when they came out. Are people really saying that is the real issue with the CGI, the shape of her body, or the fact that it doesn't look like a person, like it doesn't look real? I didn't realize anybody was complaining that she didn't look.
Yeah, I've seen this stuff online of mainly people being like, this just is par. It looks bad. And then
I think
of course,
that's a redirect or a misdirect on her part, saying, "Oh, it's because how people own women's bodies." Like I didn't have any impact on
as a woman, I
that.
disagree on
yeah,
that.
It's
I think
bullshit.
well,
That's
think
just
the
her
shade
covering.
CGI
this is
Wait.
There's some awkward motion work in some of the CGI when she's walking.
Yeah.
When you see, but I don't think that's a shape of the body person. I think that's just trying to adequately capture human motion is difficult.
Yeah.
And you get the problem you have to compare is that we have Hulk in this show as well, and we have had Hulk in a decade of movies, and the CGI for Hulk is pretty good, has been pretty good since Avengers, but it's
gotten better.
It's not a straight on, less so with in-game, but for the most part, it's not a straight on exact human replica. It's this huge, bulked out, oftentimes like aping kind of
there's
creature.
a lot more giveaway for small errors.
There's a lot more giveaway of it not immediately looking like a regular person walking down the street, whereas She-Hulk is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
This unfortunately just falls into the group of material that it's like, oh, it's Ghostbusters 2016. You can't criticize it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Charlie's Angels reboot. You can't criticize it.
Yeah.
I hate that. It's like, fuck you. It's not because women. It's because of quality.
It's because CGI. Look in this picture at her hands holding the phone. Those hands look like garbage.
Floating. They're floating.
Yeah, they look like hot garbage.
Yeah,
that's the problem. It has
bad.
nothing to do with her shapeliness or any of that stuff. It's that she doesn't look like she's existing. It looks
honestly, if I'm being honest, the arms look like it doesn't fit anything else.
Yeah, it just looks bad.
What's freaking me out is the T-shirt over the bicep, the muscle in the foreground. Like that's not how fabric flows. And
no, it's like video gamey looking.
Yeah. And then I completely disagree with that whole society's obsession with owning women's bodies. Like, no, it's nothing.
Now her argument, that idea of society's judgment or ownership of women's bodies, I mean that's a thing, but not applicable to this. Yeah. Look at her hair. It looks like one big thing.
There's some criticism of it, but no, I think the problem is there's also very valid criticism that we're having on the CGI.
Yeah, and for me, her this showrunner, she destroyed some credibility and some goodwill with that. What she should have said is, we're doing the best we can with the budget we have and the time we have. And I would have been like, yeah, I get you, because Disney is assholes. I get you. I would have been more with her on that. And then the writer saying, oh, we stand in solidarity with the FX people, and we listen to them. Well, if you did, how are you acting like in this conversation that you're hearing it for the first time? Because that's what it feels like in the quotes. Yeah. It's like, if you stood with them, then you would be fighting for more time. You wouldn't just say, okay, it's coming out.
I mean, that doesn't mean that they're not.
It just means they haven't been successful.
They are also part of the machine.
And let's be honest, Marvel does have a history of rushing TV shows.
Oh yeah. I
mean, Iron Fist. Iron Fist was hot garbage because they had to release it in 2 weeks.
But just to correct, the one who did the ownership was I think one of the lead directors, but not the
director, not the showrunner. Yeah.
But
yeah, it just Go ahead.
It's all part of the machine, and I don't. Man, it feels weird to say that Marvel's releasing too much stuff, and it also feels weird that we've been saying it for 5 years now.
But I've been saying it for 10.
Okay. But there is a point where you need quality control, and when you're throwing so much stuff against the wall, you're not getting it. And I'm hopeful for the show. I like She-Hulk. Is a funny, fun character, and I am looking forward to that. When we talked about the last trailer, I was about face on it. I felt like I'm more inclined to like the show versus the first one, but
because the content of the second trailer looked a little better.
Yeah, it looked more like the character. It looked more like
the script and the playing with the characters playing off of one another that we got in that trailer helped to soften the blow of the CGI.
But we also have to the Marvel Disney Plus shows have had middling quality.
Yeah,
it's because they don't seem to be. I don't know. there's a laundry list of problems. I can't point to this is the problem, because if that were the case, then it would be fixable. But there's definitely a sense of not putting as much effort or quality control into Disney Plus as in the movies, but the movies are also kind of suffering some of the same problems. So I don't know where the issue is. If they're just overstretched and need to cut back on products, which they just shot themselves in the foot by announcing everything that they're doing at San Diego. I don't know if there's an immediate fix for this.
I think they're afraid if they go a couple of months without releasing anything, people will slow the hype train down.
Well, but it also falls into the problems that we were talking about with Warner Brothers. Is they have a streaming service now, and Disney has a very deep catalog. They do, but the sort of FOMO element of subscriptions now is like, oh shit, this new cool thing is coming out. I got to make sure I have my Disney Plus subscription. They've got to be releasing content to keep people all the time. And Marvel is suffering for it. And I feel like Marvel, at Disney itself, I feel like Marvel, they treat Marvel and Pixar like kind of like third-class citizens in comparison to their like really classic Disney-owned IP stuff. Like, I mean, you get a Frozen movie every 2, 3, 4 years or something like that, but you got to have a Marvel thing every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot more rushed and pushed out and not given the love I think that some of their like other stuff is given.
I mean, especially when Pixar has 3 movies basically go straight to streaming.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Look, it feels like Pixar and Marvel are just money machines to them and not as much like Disney classic properties.
I mean, speaking
even
of,
even if it's a cash cow, it's still livestock.
Well, I was just gonna say, I just saw an ad. It's like Lightyear now on Disney Plus. Like already?
Yes.
That movie just
because no one's going to the theater to see it, so they might as well.
I mean, look, I didn't like Turning Red.
Yep.
That should have been in a theater though.
Yeah.
It really should have. Yeah.
I would have seen it if it was in the theater. I would have gone, but I'm not watching it on Disney Plus. I just would rather watch something else.
And I think Lightyear probably should have gone straight to Disney Plus.
No. Lightyear should have just been better because let me tell you, visually, it was beautiful. It was pretty. So seeing it in the theater is the right place to see it. The movie the content should have just been better, but the artistry of it was really pretty.
I mean, yeah, but we've never had a Pixar film to where you're like, the animation's ugly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I didn't like Luca's
I haven't
style.
seen The Good Dinosaur. I haven't seen that. I heard it was kind of shitty though.
Well, that was back when they were still on their mostly good train. The Good Dinosaur was a fluke. It was the characters were cartoony, but everything else was photoreal. Yeah, and the photoreal stuff was fucking awesome.
But that combo maybe didn't work because people
jarring.
Didn't like it. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I think we've all made good points, but I don't think it's going to change. That said, the story we got about Star Wars, maybe that sets a trend. Because you look at fucking Top Gun Maverick with practical effects and actually having stuff on screen, and it makes $1 billion. That's got to shake the tree a little bit. And then if this upcoming Star Wars show is good, maybe it'll help too. I don't know.
I mean, did anybody watch the trailer for Andor?
Haven't watched it yet, but we have a story we're going to go into next week.
I watched, I think, the first 15 seconds, and someone had an AK-47, and I was like, I'm out.
Okay.
Not a laser gun, an AK-47.
I'll need to go back. I generally liked the trailer, but I didn't see that. But yeah, Steven's got a story that we'll talk about next week when we got more time.
I only like that if it's something low budget. Like I just watched this movie called Turkey Shoot, and it's set in the dystopian future where it's like the chain gang thing where people are in prison, but rich people come and hunt them for sport. So it's in the future. It's science fiction, but right before the movie started being shot, it had Steve Railsback in it. Right before it started being shot, they cut $700,000 from the budget. So all of a sudden, we're in the near future with cool. It is an AK-47 with cool sci-fi vehicles, but all their weapons are World War II era machine guns because they didn't have money to to do sci-fi guns. Now, if it was a situation like that, I would love it because let me tell you, turkey shoot is fun.
And by the way, the shot is in the first 6 seconds.
Yeah, that like legit.
It's an AK-47.
Yeah. Now I remember with that movie Rogue One, things seemed to be a little more gritty and realistic, but that might be going too far because it literally does just look like an AK-47.
It's not even science fictionized. I understand the.
If you took an AK-47 model and dressed it up,
in Aliens, the pulse rifles, Thompson submachine guns,
dressed
totally
up,
fine. This is straight up just an AK-47.
And you know what scares me about it is, are they going to go and enhance it later with CG? Is that what the plan is?
I mean, it'd be very interested to compare final product to this trailer.
It'd be stupid to do that when it's cheaper just to build a prop. But
yes.
Hey. All right. So I want to go see about those plantains. So let's move on. All right. So this week, there's nothing really new release-wise coming out on Blu-ray, but there's a lot of really great catalog stuff. Flatliners 4K is out, and I have it, and it is a gorgeous 4K. It's beautiful. The Tenebrae 4K is out. I haven't watched it yet. I have it. I'm sure it's good. Short Bus is out. If you like Hedwig and the Angry Inch, but wish it had like full-on pornographic sex, well, this is his movie the director's previous movie to that one. The Octagon, A Force of One, and Good Guys Wear Black, they're all Chuck Norris movies. Have new 2K scans that were put out on Blu-ray. What should we read in Funny Books?
All right. This week in Funny Books, Marvel has a new issue of Moon Knight. This run of Moon Knight has been very good if you're kind of wanting to get into the comics from the Disney Plus show, if you're kind of interested in checking it out. We're in issue 14, and it's been a really cool thing about how Moon Knight has basically taken over a missionary in New York City and kind of trying to run that, which has been a lot of fun. If you want to get in on some of the upcoming event of Judgment Day with the Marvel crossover of X-Men, Avengers, and Eternals, you have a tie-in with both Immortal X-Men #5 and X-Men Red #5. DC has DC versus Vampires #8, which is kind of a spin-off, similar story to the Deceased zombie storyline that they had. This one's, though, of course, with vampires. And Edge of Spider-Verse #1 with a new look at Spider-Man Noir, played by Nick Cage in Into the Spider-Verse.
All right. That's cool.
Yep.
I was going to ask you. Oh, how are you doing on the Expanse TV series? I finished it.
I've not picked it back up since we last talked. I haven't watched a lot of television other than I've been watching Tina rewatch Stranger Things. That has been the bulk of my TV watching.
That's funny.
I've been mostly reading a lot of comics. I'm trying to catch up in X-Men. I kind of fell off of the Krakoa Hickman era stuff early on, and I'm trying to work my way through the major arcs. So right now I'm about halfway into X of Swords, which was the 2020 event, where it's ridiculous. I feel like trying to explain any of the Krakoa era stories, like any specific arc in that era, makes no sense to anyone who's not also following along with it, just because of how radically different and much of a departure and convoluted the material is. And that's not to say it's bad convoluted, although I think an argument can be made for that. It's a lot. So that's kind of where I've been at, is mostly just trying to power through some X-Men books.
Well, obviously I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will say, with some flaws and issues, I thought the ending of the show was pretty good. I liked it a lot, and I'm in book 5 now, so I'm back to trying to figure out what's happening. But we'll talk about it when you've caught up, because
Nice.
it's good. All right, well, let's bring this baby to an end. If I can switch the camera correctly, there we go. So Nico, where do we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and a letterboxd under Nico Scream, Nikoscream. Twitter is probably the best one because it's the one where I mostly pontificate on D&D and movies and crying about Batgirl not coming out and things like that. A lot of fun.
Tina?
You can find me on most major social media under Cheddar Popper. That is CheddarPoppr. And as always, look for the adorable Shadow Qualls at the.shadow.pupper, both on Instagram and TikTok.
Shadow Qualls. I like it.
Yep.
Zachy boy?
You can find me. I'm on Instagram. I'm Master of the Matrix 91. You can find me on Discord as well as Steam as a Dangerous Mute Lunatic, and of course on my Letterboxd. This is really weird with an echo.
It's great.
And Master Z91
All right.
on Letterboxd.
So find me at I threw myself off. I'm pulling at you. So Culturesmash on Letterboxd. You can stay caught up on my Pushing 100 project, where I'm seeing 100 movies this year. I'm 2 movies behind, but I'm going to rectify that this weekend. It's going to get rectified this weekend. I spent most of my movie going time watching movies that don't fucking count last weekend.
It's Star Wars.
I know. I had to watch them. So yeah, so find me there. OTS Movies on TikTok, Off the Shelf Movie Night here on YouTube, and that's it. So there we go. Thanks everybody for joining us. Remember, we are on Twitch, YouTube, coming soon to Twitter also. So we'll see everybody next week.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
But